are now tapped into That's What I'm Saying, the grown folks podcast for hip hop, entertainment, dating, relationships, sex, and the social issues affecting our communities from a sometimes ratchet, but mostly woke perspective. So I'm Shaun.
And I'm Shatara. Hey, y'all. Hey.
So, all right, fam, let's get into it. Shatara, what are we calling this episode?
We're calling this the ultimate high.
Do you know what I know? Do you smoke what I smoke?
Tell you, speaking of high, I've seen so many dispensaries pop up around Bergen County. It's not even funny.
Very true. I've seen them all over the place.
I mean, granted, it's legalized, but it's like next to the Burger King, really? Next to the Barnes and Noble, really? Everybody wants. Now the weed man is everywhere.
Everybody getting high. Yeah, that's the thing. But only real hip hop heads would know what that is. But when we get to the jam,
when we get to the jam, yeah, real hip hop heads. So let me just get ratchet and speaking of hip hop. So your favorite troller, 50 Cent.
My favorite troller.
50 Cent. He has beef with T.I. and there's been this back and forth. So he has really done, I guess, the highest form of disrespect because he's going after T.I.'s family, which is his wife and of course this stuff is very funny to me as an outsider. I'm like, what's going on here? So he reposted a picture of Tiny on stage with what looked like a diaper on, 50 Cent. And it was a YouTuber had like put one of these little AI, photos, videos together. And it's a picture of T.I. on stage and it's her behind. And then it's a picture of like their son. And it says like, God don't like ugly. And it's 50 Cent like laughing on the side. So I don't know if you remember, but some years ago, Escape had did a concert and Tiny did come out with like a new butt and it looked crazy.
Remember, I saw her in concert. I remember it was a brand new model.
It was a shot. So the baby bottoms, they were like, that was a diaper she had on. Like she had no business. Who told little chicken legs and a big donkey butt to be coming out thinking that was the right thing to do? Anyway, so when they said it was all AI, I'm like, no, that wasn't AI. That was a real concert. Like,
yeah, that was, yeah. Cause I remember I was at one of her concerts. I do remember it was, it's all brand new. Like, all right, girl.
Yeah. So
what is their beef really about?
So it's almost like, okay, now what's 50 Cent doing now? Like how petty are you trying to be? Like what 50 Cent level are you trying to be petty? So apparently when the Verzuz battle was happening, remember the whole Verzuz pandemic, everybody was doing the Verzuz.
Yep.
It was supposed to be T.I. going against 50 Cent. And they were giving each other flowers with their catalogs. That was supposed to be what it was. And then apparently 50 Cent was questioned about the upcoming battle. He played stupid and was like, what? With T.I. who? And that got back to T.I. And he was like, dude, if you don't want to do, you should have just said so. Now I'm questioning your character. Like, what was that about? You knew, it was on schedule for us to do. Why'd you play stupid? Does it go any further than that? I don't know. And that's pretty much how it all started. So now there's even a video of at the movie Atlanta. Remember T.I. was in Atlanta?
Yep.
And Big Boy and a whole. So now they have like T.I.'s son waiting at like the burger spot and 50 Cent rolling up, which would have been Big Boy in the car, rolling up on his son. This is so funny. So now T.I.'s son is mad at this whole back and forth with 50 Cent. And he went in at 50 and was just like, you talking about my mother? Your mother's dead. How about you dig up your mother? I mean, spoken like a true fifth grader. He was going in. He was big child mad. He was big mad. Talk about my mother in a diaper. So T.I. has made a diss track for 50 Cent. I don't know. I haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
I'm only listening to T.I. jam he has out right now. Woo! That's it.
But I low-key like the way that King came for his mama though. He did. Like,
yeah, that was.
I mean, it was low. It was low, but he did defend his mama though.
But yeah, that was the don't talk about my mom. That was a hands down. Don't be talking about my mama.
Don't you talk about my mama.
Mama biscuit. Also in other news, now at the BAFTA, what is it? The British Academy Film, like it was an award show. And BBC. So, all right. So Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan were receiving. Lindo. I got to say it like that. They were receiving an award for the wonderful movie Sinners. Right? And in the middle of them presenting awards and talking, someone with Tourette's was yelling out racial profanities and got away with it a few times. So the show kept going on. As as Black folks do, we recognize it and we keep on going.
I'm over here just with a whole side eye, but
right. So of course, people with Tourette's, come in. You don't understand. People are like, racism is gonna be racism. Like, of all things and moments for him. And the BAFTA, should I say BAFTA? The
BAFTAs.
BAFTA.
Mhm.
BAFTA, they were
BAFTA
dead
awards.
wrong. They were dead wrong because this was a delayed broadcast. So they still allowed the slur to air
Still
unfiltered,
allowed to
right?
put
And then they let the clip circulate, all right?
Mother
They gave it too much time. They let that happen. But what I also go on to read was that what they did manage to cut out was a Canola Davies Jr. saying "Free Palestine" during his clip for the BBC News. They
Of
they they
course.
managed to clip that out. How about that?
Of course. Of course.
And somebody else, who was it? Paul Thomas Anderson, Best Director, he got an award. He says that anyone that says movies aren't any good anymore can just piss right off. And they bleeped out piss off.
I'm now laughing because I didn't know that part, so that shows a lot about it was intentional. That's what I'm saying. You know what? And we'll talk about it a little later, but you know what? Believe the white. You know, like I don't know why we don't believe white. Believe white.
Yeah.
It, okay, I'm just we going yeah, but real, and in the midst of like we still show up with style and grace.
Huh.
But man, if I don't know, somebody okay, I can't even get the words out cuz
No,
I'm like what
this is so dead wrong. And to know that they had time to fix it just for the viewers because it was delayed. They had time to like, oh my God. You know
but
what I'm
they
saying?
didn't.
Wait a minute.
So I have a quote from Delroy Lindo. So he told Vanity Fair, he said
Mhm.
afterward that he and Jordan, quote, did what we had to do while presenting, but that he wished someone from BAFTA spoke to us afterward because they probably ain't say shit. So you had Mr. Tourette's over there. And I know no disrespect to people who actually have Tourette's. I know two people with
Mhm.
Tourette's and it's a profound illness of the
Mhm.
mind,
Mhm.
but, they don't be saying the N-word, they don't that so that means to me, like, that's a learned behavior somewhere, like, don't tell me that, he can't help it all the way. He heard it
Yeah.
from somewhere, he learned it, I don't know, just wow, but I didn't know that part, so basically they let it stay. They let
They
it
let
stay
it
and they let
stay.
it play.
They let it stay long enough and then didn't even have, like, an
Mhm,
apology or any grand gesture apology for what had taken place, and it just goes to show you that as much as, times have changed and we've come a long way,
mhm,
some
mhm,
people and their mind frame still remain the same. Just for the fact that,
mhm.
this is what's this,
Yep,
the British Awards? Like, where am I at now? Like, what?
mhm, yep,
And suit, tie, and all, and
hello, be
again,
here, mhm.
so
But
you coulda
yeah,
cut that out? You cut out Free Palestine, you cut oh, okay.
and then, this other chick we talking about.
So this speaking of them playing all up in our
You
face,
know what I'm
we have a tenured professor at a public college in New York City was caught on a hot mic making racist remarks just the other day. So there was a community education council meeting
Mhm,
centered on a proposal for Mayor Mamdani, his administration to close or relocate several public schools.
mhm.
And I just kind of, caught a clip of the Zoom meeting. It's a lot of people in there.
They were on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, they're all in there. And
Let's say her name.
the associate professor, she's the Department of Biological Science. She didn't
At Hunter
realize
College.
that she was live and she was captured saying some really they're saying anti-black things.
No, let's say what she said. So Allyson Friedman at a Hunter College professor, she said, quote, "They're too dumb to know they're in a bad school." Her second statement said, she said,
Train
they
them up.
know how basically they know how to use the back. Like once you tell them, they know how to go to the back. Whatever or however she
If you
was
train
saying
them
it.
right, they'll know how to go the back without telling them.
So you have, and what was very interesting to me is you had there were black faces.
Mhm,
There were
money.
there were melanin brothers and sisters on that call, and of course we only saw a snippet of it.
Mhm.
So one of the administrators, he says basically, Allison, I'm gonna need you to cut your mic because you're hearable.
You're
Not
hearable.
that not that what she was saying was absolutely outrageous and despicable, but that we can hear
We
you.
can hear you. Excuse me. He said, you're hearable. Excuse me. I mean, but the way his tone was like he was offended at what was being said, but had to like catch her quick. And for her, she said that, what did she say in her statement that she was trying to teach her child about systemic racism in that moment? And I was
If
just
you
like, you
don't
know
if you
what?
don't get up out of here with that mess, I'm just
Now that is when people say like white people be white people in.
see this. Let me just see because we carry a level of style and grace and class that we bring to the craziness that is in this world. And the thing is, like, it's not shocking, right? Like, as a Black woman, and I'm sure you know, like, every Black woman listening or seeing that has been in that type of room. You've been there, whether it's on a call, whether it's within earshot in a meeting or something where you felt that energy shifting, and where you just know that whatever is being said is,
Mhm.
when you know that it's almost like the audacity to say that, because if you know that I'm in the room,
Right.
you still
Oh,
you
I've
say it,
been
but
there.
the thing is, like, it just confirms who these people are.
Yeah.
It's a difference. So, and it's not, this is how racism, because this is why, racism doesn't exist and I don't believe in, like, no, it's very real. The thing is, like, they may not be, putting crosses and burning them on your yard and, doing it. It's not that. It's not as loud, but it's like the dude in the Tourette's, like, you know what? He said what he said. It
Mhm.
wasn't no apologies. And they're going to make sure that the whole world hears it. That's what
Yes.
happens.
Yes.
It's coded in the way that they look at us as giving those low expectations,
Mm.
or just
Mhm.
how she spoke those kids. Now, this is a woman that is been in the education system. So
Mhm.
her
Mhm.
job is to train the people, train and pour into the youth of tomorrow. But this is what she is ingrained with, and she takes it with her in every space in her life. So the only thing that happened is that you put up a mic to her feelings and her true thoughts. That's the only thing that happened. Nothing changed in terms of, this is the thinking. And we really, it's like white people be white, and like that is what's happened. So, I have been in those places, and I know that feeling intimately, being this Black woman where you're in the space, and you know what? You got to keep your head on a swivel. You really do. And you have to understand the coding, because it's everything. It's coded. It might not be out there, but that passive aggressiveness is really real, and it's rooted in their insecurity. But who cares where it comes from? You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, thank you for telling me. That's how I be feeling a lot of times. Like, thank you for even you being
yeah.
complicit over there. You're complicit until you heard it and it didn't bother you. It didn't strike a chord. Thank you for letting me know where you stand. Too late. Too late. Too late. That was a bullshit apology she gave. And at that point, she was better off just saying, you know what? I don't know where the Epstein files are, but I said it. She was better off just laying it down
And
because
that's
she's,
the thing, because what happens is, it's not so much. Yeah, it's already said, it's already out there. But what happens now that the mic is off? Now that what happens in this woman's life and affecting other people?
hmm
Because you can sit and backpedal all you want. That's not what I meant, or how try to, and the audacity of dumbing us down to really think like that was a teaching moment for your child.
hmm
All of that, what you said, is supposed to teach your kid about racism.
in that moment, you're supposed to
If
be
you
on
don't
the
if
work.
y'all don't stop with these fake ass apologies.
Not even that, but I mean, let's be real here. You're on a serious call. You're in a council meeting, right? About
Mhm.
closing schools or moving them around. You really think you're talking to idiots, really, when you played
That's it,
yourself.
yeah.
Because that was your moment to hold on a minute. Let me just teach my kid about systemic racism. Now
Get outta here.
you
And
sound
I'm
like
sorry, we didn't hear the whole call, but I'm so sorry. I didn't Did anybody else speak up? Because that would've been the perfect opportunity if that was me. Like, "You know what? No, don't silence Allyson Friedman. Let her speak her mind.
keep going. Right.
Let her say it with her whole chest.
Tell us how you
Everything that
feel.
she want. Don't let it all slip out. Tell us how you really feel. Tell us why you mad, son. Tell us
Because
tell us why you mad."
Because this is the thing with racism, especially, and I'm gonna say more so on white people. Racism is a coward. Racism is very cowardly. Racism is not as bold, and because at one point it was bold. It was so bold that you can hang a man from a tree and take pictures around him and smile and not even be considered a terrorist and smile with your family and go home. And that's how evil and racism was powerful at that time. But it has weakened so much so where you see that I didn't mean that. I was talking to my child during this work call, and we're supposed to just buy that? Very cowardly. Own your shit. That's what you are. Own your shit. Like you said. Speak up, Allison.
Yeah, because that's
Want
not
you,
a
want
you
you.
didn't slip. That's your belief. That's what you believe.
Thank you for telling me. Everybody don't gotta agree with me. That's fine. That's fine. But oh, for real, you trained me right? I should use a back door? Really? Wow. Okay.
And I'm kind of tired for us as a people to be told, you know, to continue to respond with grace and empathy, which is great. But at some level, I want more context than that. I want action. I want to see, let's talk about how we going to act, what's going to happen now. Now that the mic is off, what happens now?
Yeah.
Cuz I didn't, I haven't heard if she lost a job, which she should, but
Mm.
all that means is she's going to go into another institution and be who she really is. I mean, I don't necessarily know what the solution is,
Yeah.
but that whole thing about, she messed up and we just supposed to extend this grace and
Well,
empathy
that was
to people
wrong.
who don't even understand what that is.
No, no.
Because
And
when we
why?
mess up, it's just like, it's about our character. When they mess up, it's being taken out of context.
My God, I could be talking to somebody and we have a disagreement, and this has happened to me. And that white woman went and told her boss, Shatara was yelling at me and threatened me and made me feel like
Mhm.
something about like I wanted to fight her later. I'm like, wait, that older woman I wanted to fight her at the nurses. Like, what?
I believe you.
And then wait, and I was raising my voice and yelling. I said, so now I
The
know moving
lies that
forward, no
you
matter what,
tell.
I'm always the one yelling. If I'm
The
the calm
lies
one,
the lies that you
you get
tell.
to yell. I don't. But yeah, we got stories. I got
I
stories.
know. That's what I said. So, it's okay. All right. Well, you know what? I hope they come down on Allyson Friedman out there in New York City with your job and your stability. And only because you have a direct link and an influence on young Black children. That's the reason. And I don't wish bad on anybody, but that right there is consequences.
Right.
So, everybody has their inside stereotypical person that stereotypes everybody does, right? But it's how you move with that, how you voice that and how you act in your everyday life and how you treat other people. So there's no excuse. That was not a teacher moment, Allyson Friedman,
No, that was
for your children.
it
You
was
said how
discipline.
you really felt about Black children out here.
Yeah, and then your kid is gonna go out in the world and they will feel very privileged and entitled because my mom told me that you're gonna use the back door. So you gotta
Mhm.
understand that it is a
Train
cycle.
them up, whatever she
Yes,
said. They
it's a
get trained
cycle
to
that
learn it.
is racism is taught.
It sure is. It is a learned behavior.
And we're taught to work around it. And that's the part that pisses me off. We are taught
Right.
to work around it.
You are exactly right. And I know you and I have had these conversations where, yes, we are
Um,
we are more taught how to navigate around it,
right?
because the bottom line is, these grown people, they're really not going to change. Do they really, evolve into these empathetic people? No, not really.
And not
The
everybody.
cognitive dissonance is so real. You just learn. And it's not everybody. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
nope, I'm not
I
saying
mean,
all. Not all white folks, but for those that are, you know who you are. You know who you
no.
are.
And there's some Black folks that might as well be white folks, but that's a whole nother story and a whole nother podcast, because right now we need to go into the woke minute. We was kind of woke,
Yeah.
awakened,
Yeah.
but we're here again. So what I wanted to discuss on this minute of the podcast. So we know the world has been flooded with Epstein information. It's still coming out, and I believe we'll probably do more than one show about that as the time progresses and more things come out. However, but there's been these Epstein related blackmail networks which are collapsing. So there have been a number of countries who immediately release some of the suppressed cancer, I'm going to call them cures allegedly, but cancer prevention technologies that were hidden due to this whole blackmail network that was going on and is now being revealed in the record. So the idea is that there have been, pharmaceutical executives and regulators and politicians, media figures, everybody, where they've been controlling the approval of these medicines. Can you imagine a cancer vaccine that was held up, so they control the patents, they doing all this? And imagine if you had a breakthrough treatment
Hmm.
and that breakthrough treatment in cancer threatened a multi-billion dollar revenue stream. What do you think the powers that be would do? Well, they would silence it, right? They make sure it's coming out. So now, man, this is the age of information, and this is why you have to really have discernment. So we already know that pharmaceutical companies, they were manipulating the pricing. I mean, the United States of the America here has some of the worst. It is the worst medical system in the world. Let's just put it like that. The medical care, the healthcare system is for the trash. We already know that regulators can be paid off, bought off, all of these things, right? And we know that powerful people in certain places, some people call them the elites. I'm not going to use that word, but they've been protecting their bottom line, their currency. So anyway, a lot of blackmail has now the shit has hit the fan now. You have these countries who are coming forward with these innovations. So Russia was one. It's supposedly they have been discussing this or developing this mRNA based personalized cancer vaccine. Now, again, if y'all have been heard me on the show, I talk about mRNA based anything because it's basically like a technology, like a computer program that is injected in your body. However, they have been talking about rolling out this a cancer vaccine. Japan as well. India has also made claims that they have found a cheaper cure for cancer. Cuba, from what I've heard, allegedly has developed the Vax, which is a lung cancer vaccine. Turkey and South Korea have also been in the mix and been talked about. So this is what's going on, and this is powerful. So we are talking about we have talked about this before in terms of empires coming down right before our eyes, and this is one major thing. I mean, cancer is a business. We know that. But the business landscape potentially could change exponentially. So what do you think about this?
So, like you said, cancer is a business, and how they say there's money in the treatment, not the cure. Now that there's now that there's all over the world, everybody's been suppressed. This is all related to the blackmailing of the Epstein files of that the leverage. Like, okay, now people feel like they can finally speak.
Exactly.
Woo!
So now that the foot on the neck has been somewhat removed, it's coming out. You know, all of these potential cures and preventions allegedly, can you just imagine the floodgates are about to be open?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But and it's so sad that it took these Epstein files. Like, it took the Epstein files? Really?
Mhm.
Like, really? Like, so
Yeah,
that
I
part
mean,
is
yep. So, I mean, plus, and it's interesting when I went to Thailand last month, and because we have an idea here in the United States of the Americas that healthcare is it's very profit driven. It's a business. So you go someplace where the model is different, the mindset is different. It was just I went into a pharmacy and having access to different medications, different treatments. It was just a totally different vibe, a totally different feel, where you can actually walk up to the counter, you can talk to basically a doctor and get whatever it is that you needed at the counter with it, right there, as opposed to like, that could never happen. I don't care. We got minute clinics, but it don't even work like that here. So, just the healthcare system here is just it's so capitalized.
so really quick. So when you were out of the country and you had to get, like you said, you can talk to a doctor. They don't give you the whole, "Can we see your insurance?"
No, I don't even think,
Nothing
and
like
I
that.
don't know what the system is in Thailand, but I don't. That was never an
They just,
inquiry,
"What do you
and
need?"
it's so affordable. In terms of our scale, everything was so affordable. So you can go to the dentist, you could go to the doctor and visit. I mean, I think I got some antibiotics for a friend of ours, and it was like $5, something like that.
With no prescription.
No, ask some questions, some pertinent questions, and you get what you need.
You
It was
get
different, like,
Z-Packs? You bringing Z-Packs?
was that yeah, it was a Z-Pack. I was like, "Wow, okay,
That
that's how they do
bonding.
it? That's how they do it." Yeah, so it's just a difference. Yeah, so expect, like, some real, this is this is monumental for us in terms of the health in healthcare, and especially with cancer treatments.
I mean, I'm thinking, like, I wish we had known something sooner because, of all things, I lost my grandmother. We lost our grandmother to cancer. I lost my daddy to cancer.
Dad?
I lost many
Yeah.
people to cancer. I can go on for a little while.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
and that's what
And to
Cuba, they have
and
the
to
lung
think
cancer
that
vaccine.
it's a bottom line to it, it's a money thing. So we'll see.
I don't like it.
Yeah, well,
I
we'll
don't
see.
like it, but okay. That's
But
good
things are
news.
changing. Yeah, things are changing.
That's good news.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay. Well, let's get right on to this weekendee, shall we? So if you have a
Bring it
question,
on.
yes, I'm gonna bring it all right. If you have a question or comment for the Weekendee report, go to our linktree/twistpod. Scroll to the bottom, send us an email or leave a voicemail. We always love that. Ask us a question. I think we do well with answering questions. We give you a little personal testimony. And then we'll get to it. So each week we will unpack a chapter from our upcoming book, The Player's Heartbreak Handbook, a survival guide for your heart, your wallet, and your peace. We're writing this book for anybody who has loved hard and learned harder. And because sometimes the lesson hits before the healing does. You know how that goes, right? So let's see. The working title of tonight's chapter is We Don't Know Yet. So just stick with us. All right. No,
You
that's
never know.
the chapter is not We Don't Know Yet. I'm telling you, we don't
I
know
know.
yet. Bear with us, okay? So recently I saw a headline and I thought, I wanted to bring this little topic to my sister because I thought it was like good for us to talk about. So I'm just going to say Delroy Lindo, actor Clifton Powell, he had a little face off at the Roundtable with quite a few, I want to say younger Black gentlemen. And he was stating his own claim that he's just learned how to love at 69 years old. And he's on his second wife. And he was saying he had never been monogamous before and saying that he comes from a long line of people who didn't know how to love. His grandfather's grandfather was a slave. And, he just goes back to the history of Black folk and just him today. He's come a long way and he's just now learning. And his now wife pretty much took the time not necessarily to pick him apart, but piece by piece have patience with him and to help him learn how to love. This was his story, his testimony. He wasn't saying he was right. He was just like, look at me, I'm 69. So in this roundtable discussion, there's an actor who was on Insecure. So I don't know, he was younger than Clifton. Just quite a few faces in the room. And I always love to see Black men sitting at a table talking, productively, which is things we don't see as much. I know they did that on The Shy. There was a scene, there's scenes where they all come together as a group and they talk.
I like that.
So that's always good because that is like that's the key now, like therapy. Like we can really give each other therapy. Black men talking to Black men, it's important. So anyway, this round table, there happened to also be a gentleman who questioned Clifton Powell, and I'm gonna call him Albie Shore for
Don't call him Albie Shore. Don't call him that, please, because as saucy as he was, don't link him to Albie Shore.
Okay, so anyway, his look, nice
I don't want to put that on Albie.
I'm like Elder Barge, like whatever.
No, I don't want to put that on Elder Barge either.
Put it like this: he was a little spicy in his delivery. He came in as a queen. After a while, you're like, wait a minute, hold up. And he basically said, "Hold on, Clifton. Let me just, with all due respect," he said, my dad wasn't in my life for the past, I think he said over 6 years, and I don't give a fuck. However he put it, that's when it was like, the heels are clicking. And he said, so it's not about what my daddy did back in that time. Like it's about what I'm doing now, moving forward. And for you to basically put the blame on other people and to hurt other people's feelings and waste people's time, like you need to take accountability. He was like, because when I hit 60, I'm trying to get it right.
He said to take it back.
This is what he's saying to
Saucy.
this gentleman is saying. Saucy
Santana said.
Like, like basically too late player. Like you got to be kidding me. Like a lot of these Black women are sick and tired of, you men like wasting their time. And I'm not giving it to you verbatim, but that's pretty much where he was coming from. Telling Clifton, like, cut the shit. Like, ain't no reason why you 69. You just now learning how to love. Like, you've been wasting a lot of people's time. Like, Black women are tired. And when he said Black women are tired, I felt like he was speaking like, I am tired of this shit. Honey, am tired.
As the daddy.
I be the pappy. So I just thought this was interesting because I had a lot of questions raised in my head. And I thought, is there an age limit to love? Like, is he too late? Is it really too late for him? Is that fair for us to say it's too late?
No, absolutely not. And I definitely don't think it's too late. But what I thought interesting was with that exchange was the level. Well, first of all, I mean, Clifton Powell he took over. He got into his pinky season because
he was mad.
The conversation was heated between them. So between Saucy Santana and Clifton Powell. So one thing I was asking was, who was the oldest at that round table? And it seemed like it was Clifton. So you have
Clifton.
Like he had like you said, like Clifton Powell had said that his grandparents were descendants of slaves. And then you have these, obviously younger gentlemen there who it's a bit of a disconnect. So
Mhm.
What I saw was, Clifton Powell, because he said he's 69 years old. He's
Second
been
wife.
married, he's divorced, he's got grown kids, and he basically said, I'm still figuring out." And I think that's a powerful statement. The reason being because you have a lot of men, especially men that are raised in survival mode, not just men,
That
black
piece.
men, black women,
Yes.
but raised in that survival mode where you don't see love. So you don't know how to even give it because you weren't brought up in a place to even see it, to see it grow, to see it thrive. So all of the things that, the way that you move, your strength, and, and what happens is I believe you envelope that with ego, because ego really, all ego does is protect, or it's a protection for what is a very insecure individual.
Okay.
So that person grows up, that black man, and we see it in our communities where they're not taught to be vulnerable. They're not taught to be emotionally safe. So when you see Clifton Powell, I mean, I thought that was powerful of him, because he said, "I'm just learning how to love." 69 years old. What he really is saying is, I'm unlearning that ego, that shit that I was running through in life, because we all know as black women, we definitely can see that, where ego is protecting the little boy, the little man child. So what he was saying is, I'm unlearning those things about myself. I'm unlearning what really is that fear, what really is that insecurity that I've been holding on to all of my life. And it's something, as women, we are more prone to do that work. But when you see a man saying, "You know what? I'm doing that work too, because I'm I'm messed up. I was messed up for a long time," and that's a huge shift. But then you see, this youngin, he was very flavorful. And honestly, I was trying to understand, really want to listen to what
Trying to
this
say.
gentleman, I don't know his name, was saying to Clifton Powell.
Mhm.
But what I got from it was more of what is happening in our society. So there is an age difference, because you have Clifton Powell, he's 69 years old, and you have these men that look like they're in their 30s, maybe
Mhm.
40s.
Mhm.
So already you have a cultural divide there. But what I was hearing was basically what's happening in that cultural divide, where you have these men who are wanting to embrace their princess era. And yeah, I'm gonna say it, because that's really what it is. But wanting to do it in a way that keeps them dominant, that keeps them emotionally distant,
Mhm.
and keeps them in a place of still trying to wrestle control. So you want to be treated as a queen, but you also want to act and do all the things of the mad king at the same time. That's what I was kind of hearing. So here you had Clifton Merrill coming in saying, like, "Yo, bro, like, that shit don't work no more. Like,
Mhm.
that was wrong. That's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
he's owning it.
whatever we, the generation you taught and what you saw,
Mhm.
it needs to be a shift. It's not working." So that's where I'm seeing, and, you have this black man, and he's pouring his heart. He said, "I'm just learning how to love." And I think the way, I mean, he went pinky on him. He went off because he was cut off. So that was another thing. He felt disrespected and he was cut off. But
He
if
got it.
if they had to just listen to the message, and again, I only saw an excerpt, so I don't know what happened toward the end, or how the conversation ended. But it was so powerful what he said, and I think it was lost in that moment with someone women are tired. Yes,
Women are tired, and
thank you
I've
for
been.
I guess if you think you stepping up, but address, instead of relating to the victim, understand your role. And I think that's what the men should have done at that round table. Understand your role in all of this. It's not about victimizing. It is about accountability.
And
And
yeah,
that
but
had
that's
that
what
been go ahead.
I'm sorry, I think that that's what the gentleman was trying to tell Clifton Powell, like, "You're really just not taking accountability for the people you've hurt along the way. Like, you're not like, it's too late. Like, you're not taking accountability." And the fact that he started with "my father," that let me know where he was coming from. I was like,
Said it was
"Oh, okay.
personal.
That lets me know right here where it's coming from." Almost as
Mhm,
if he couldn't wait to say this to his father. He couldn't wait to
mhm,
say this to his father, like,
mhm.
"I'm not gonna be like you, and I'm moving forward, and I'm not gonna become who you were. It's about who I am today." And, I gave him his, give him props for speaking up on his own end, but at the same time, I feel respectfully when a grown man can say at 69, I'm still here, and I paved the way for many of y'all young dogs, the way he would say, "Dog, Merry Christmas, dog." Pinky, the way Pinky come through, man. Respectfully, I just feel like that's a very brave thing to do, to be transparent and to bare your heart in the way he did. So I wasn't mad at first. I was listening. I was just like, wow, that's deep. I felt bad for him. Like shit.
Mhm.
But when he can look at his own lineage and say, I come from this and I come from that, and it's a long line of post-traumatic slave, just on Black people itself. Look what's on the Black man's shoulders. Like, let's just look at that. So, there is some grace that I'm just going to give him for that. And I do feel like if a Black man can say, shit, I'm 69 years old, I'm just learning how to love, and I broke so many hearts over time. You know how many men have walked that walk and have not even said it out loud? He just happened to have said it out loud. Are you kidding me? And then what
Mhm.
really I think
Mhm.
made them mad was the fact that when they asked him, well, how long have you been monogamous? He said, today.
That's
And,
on
and
today.
all in playful. And it was like, that's immature of him. Not playful or not. If he's being serious, even when a man can say, I don't know what it is to be monogamous, I'm figuring this out,
Mhm.
because monogamy can be a part of, it's part of love and learning how to love. And it's a personal thing. Listen to what he's saying. He's trying to tell you what not to do.
Mhm.
That's how I looked at it. If you can save yourself some time, young man,
You gotta
listen to
listen.
this. It wasn't for me to tear him down and be like, well, you 69. Now, I also feel like in this being the weekend D, I do feel like men get grace and, healing time where women, we don't have time like that. Like we don't cut each other slack like that. It's that part. I
What do you
feel
mean?
like if I came and I was like, I'm just now learning how to love, or we would be like, girl, you are so worth being loved. We wouldn't even listen to her saying, girl, you're worth it. You are worth being loved. Why you ain't never had nobody love you you're 69 years old. Oh my God. You ain't found nobody? The pickings was that slim? Like we would probably flip it to a woman like, well, what's wrong with you? What you been doing out there? Never? You ain't never found nobody to love you? He was
As opposed to what?
I feel like
Men.
men are given rope. Men are given rope. That's why he had 69 years of being out there and, being
Okay.
broken. Men are given a lot of rope. And I
Mhm.
feel like and women we're given broken pieces, and we just kind of to work on ourselves putting it together over the years. Right? Because he's one of many men, many, many, many men with just upon me. He's right. That's what I just feel like. So I do believe also with this, there is a catch-22. Men
Yeah.
men are given a little more rope to bullshit up until 69. You ever see the meme that shows a man and he's old and he's like a skeleton and it says men when they say they're ready to settle down?
Yeah. You nigga on a,
About to
yeah.
die?
I say that.
It'd be like a
Or
skeleton.
what did we talk about last week? We were talking about, is it the hospice husband? It's the husband that
Yeah.
that's not funny.
But
But
but see what I'm saying? Like men are
he's
given rope.
is looking for somebody to take care of him in his final
Yeah.
days. Like, you didn't out here and you didn't Clifton Powell your way all the way to the
All
end,
the
and now
way.
you wanna,
All the way. Now I'm ready
and
to
I'm
be
not making light, I commend him. I'm just making light of it. I'm just joking.
right. But so you see there is a little bit of a double standard there with men and women as far as being able to say, I'm just now learning how to love. Like,
Mhm.
huh? Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Alright.
This is my jam. So
Okay.
this is my jam. It's a little hip hop for you. This is Nature featuring Nas, The Ultimate High. And I want to say this was off of Nature's album For All Seasons.
You wanna say? Is it?
Yes, and this is a track master. This was by Track Masters. Yep. And
What
this
year
has
was
all
it?
I can tell you, just a little bit off of it. Has a little flute in the back and a little bass and a little drum, and they're just both rhyming. And when you hear Nas and Nature going back and forth, it's just a smooth. I don't even want to call it smooth. It's a little hood classic. Pass me a cup of that good shit. We on some hood shit.
Mhm. You right. When I walk into a room, niggas feel a slight breeze. Stay a little
What?
while till they feel they might freeze.
I
Never
said, what's me
understood
without
why
the
they
hood? What's
didn't
a tree
like
without
me.
wood?
'Cause when I lock the door, they turn into ices.
Yeah. So and yeah, the remix, mine is the remix because the remix had Nas on it.
Yep. No, yeah, that was the dope one. That was, when this song came out? It came out in 2000.
2000. And I was like, was that 2002? That was 2000. So that was all I can say. That was many, many years ago. But that's just a little hip hop,
Nature was nice. He was nice. The rhymes were bon
Yeah, it was,
appetit.
and it was a little simple, smart ass wordplay.
Mhm.
You know, but I liked it. So pass me a cup of that good shit. We on some hood shit.
Let's see what happened with nature.
What's me without the hood? A tree without wood. That's Nas. That was Nas.
That was dope. I did like, man, this song brings back memories. I used to play this song when I worked at the World Trade Center in New York, Tower 2, and I had a hunter green Mazda Millennia. Remember my Mazda Millennia?
I do.
With the
I
with the
do.
butter leather interior?
That was nice. That was
You
very
couldn't tell
nice.
me
That was
that,
nice.
and it was so, like, man, it had a CD player, but it was so modern on the inside, like, I love that car. Oh my goodness, and then going into New York, driving on the West Side Highway, hitting that bump that was right by probably, like, 125th Street, going downtown,
It's still there.
speeding, is it? That's crazy.
Mhm.
Speeding in my car, but I would play this song 'cause it flowed because of the flutes in it.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to really look into like what song did they sample, and usually I give a nice little history on the song.
I
I just
see.
was like, you know what, this it just kind of popped in my head. Like,
Do you
yeah,
wanna
I would definitely say turn that up, turn
I
that up,
like it. I
turn
like
that
it.
up. Yeah, that's my jam. Nas and Nature.
That's a good one, Shatara.
All right, pass me a cup of that good shit. We on some hush shit.
Alright, well, guess what?
When
Cry all you want. All right, y'all. If you enjoyed this episode, please do us a favor. Like it, comment, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And that's how the show grows and how we keep the community strong. And make sure you're following us on Instagram at TwizPod. That's where the conversation continues. Our new YouTube channel is at The Real TwizPod. So make sure you follow us over there. And Tara, anything else?
Yes. And listen, if you got a question for the Weekend D Report, want to send a shout out, or you're looking for merch or anything Twist Pod, just head over to Linktree/TwistPod. Everything is right there.
And you can watch us on YouTube, of course, or you can listen wherever you get your podcasts on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're on all major platforms.
All right. And if you want to keep up with my comedy shows, podcast appearances, and TV events, go to my website. That is shataraCurry.com.
Look, y'all, thank you for listening, rocking with us, and spreading the word.
Yes. As always, we appreciate y'all. Stay healthy, stay well. Till next time.
Peace, y'all.